we see this weekend?
Ready Player One.
What'd you think of Ready Player One, Toby?
It was bad.
I don't want to call it a bad movie, but I don't want to call it a good movie.
No. It's in like for me, I think that like it's gonna be remembered. Like
I think it'll be remembered in like the way people remember things that they regret seeing.
Yeah.
Like when people were like, remember when they tried to bring this back? Or remember when
Remember when they made a reference to every movie ever?
and they made a movie about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking out, I pretty much felt regret watching the movie.
Yeah.
I wish I had watched something else.
I mean, I will have to say I had an enjoyable time watching it. Not because the movie was enjoyable, but just because I laughed at it.
This was based on a book.
It was based on a book. By
legendary author Ernest Cline.
Legendary.
And I think it was worse than the book.
What, really?
Because like the book has so many references that like cooler stuff happens. Like the final battle in the book has not only the Gundam, the Mechagodzilla, and the Iron Giant wasn't in the book, so I don't know why he was in the movie.
Wow.
But it had like the Evangelion mech and is it Giant Man? That one Man. Japanese. It's like a kaiju, but it's just a guy in like a morph suit. Is it Ultraman?
What?
It's like a guy and he has like a rubber mask on and it's got like bright yellow eyes and like red and silver color scheme.
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
It's just a guy and he just grows giant, and then when there's like things of him, it's just a guy in a suit fighting or it's like a guy in a kaiju suit and then it's just him that's literally just a guy fighting them.
Man, that sounds amazing.
It had a ton more references and
it was better?
I think it was just better just because like the movie they had to water down so much stuff and make it like generic like structure.
Yeah.
Because the book wasn't anything special, but it was just like I think I had a better time reading the book than watching the movie. But I read the book like 4 or 5 years ago, so I definitely wouldn't enjoy it now. But back then, I was kind of even back then though I was like, this was really an adult wrote this. But
I feel like middle schoolers are gonna really love this movie.
Yeah, I feel like this is a middle school exclusive movie because, like, I was really confused throughout the movie because starting off, I was thinking they were going for like kids movie.
Yeah.
But then later on, they like reference The Shining and like, it's fucking Freddy the doll or fucking Chucky the doll. But yeah, there's so many things that aren't appropriate for kids at all.
Yeah. I don't know though, because there wasn't a lot of that.
Yeah, but I mean, there are a lot of moments where it's just like.
Well, it was trying to be like an '80s movie. Every '80s movie had like one scene where it was like, boom.
I can't see like aside from like soccer moms and like really geeky dads liking this movie. Like I don't think any normal person who's just grew up and lived in the '80s is gonna watch this and be like, oh yeah. The Back to the Future car, King Kong.
No, I feel like
hey, it's got the girl in the orange pants I found on my son's computer.
No, I don't. I feel like a lot of middle school kids are gonna love this.
Well, no, like, I'm just meaning like for the people that they're going for the nostalgia. I don't think this is gonna work for like most people that were in the 80s because it also misses all the best. It doesn't have the rights to all the best 80s stuff. Like there's no Star Wars, there's no Transformers, there's no G.I. Joe,
Power Rangers isn't in it. I feel like Power Rangers
is 90s.
I know that, but I feel like it'd still fit in.
Yeah, I think there was a Megazord in the book. I don't know, but it's like missing all of the best I'd say the best thing it had was like the Back to the Future car as like a regular reference, which in the book has X-Wing fighter wings and the Ghostbusters logos on the doors.
Oh.
The character was a lot less cringy, the main character, because in the book he starts out as like this fat slob and then he has to get fit so he can wear that like gear suit and be more agile in the game.
Yeah.
And there's entire pages of him just like, I memorized every line of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and now I had to simulate the entire scene beat for beat.
Yeah, there was nothing of that, which is nice.
But
it didn't mean that I liked the character.
Yeah, and we'll get into that with like. So should we explain the story then?
What story?
In the future, a man who grew up in the 80s creates a VR world.
Yeah.
And then he dies, and he says whoever in the world finds his Easter eggs, that in the industry they call a hidden gem in a game an Easter egg. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I made sure to explain that to all of us gamers in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But he has this contest, and if you find his Easter eggs, you get to control the game and all of his money.
Half his money.
And then there's an evil corporation, like the one that greenlit this movie, that wants to take it for themselves and sell advertisements.
Yeah, I love how that's like their motivation is just to sell advertisements.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like, and then the guy who's the villain, who was like he's Krennic in Rogue One. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is in this movie. I'll just call him Krennic.
Yeah.
But they have a flashback when Krennic was an intern working for Halliday, the guy who created the game.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's still 50 years old, but he's dressed like a 20-year-old intern.
Yeah.
And in the flashback, he's talking to him, and he's like, what if we had like a gold membership or like a green membership, different tiers that you could pay for? And it's like, what broke intern at a tech company wants the place he works for or the product he works for to cost more?
He's the bad guy, Max.
His job is to get them coffee. He probably doesn't make enough to afford a gold membership.
Yeah. That's what he wants to make money, Max.
Yeah, even as an intern, he knew.
And then, oh yeah, that's right. And then he started Evil Corp because he knew everything about Halliday.
Yeah, and then they hire people. They spend millions a year to just pay people to study pop culture and know all of the references.
That was like a lot of people too.
Yeah. The Sixers.
The Sixers.
Yeah, and in the book, like, I don't know, there's just so many more references and so many worlds. Like, there's a major part that's set in the building from Blade Runner, like the big pyramid.
Yeah. And
there's like, I don't know, it's like he was a lot more creative with the references in the book.
Yeah.
And the movie just didn't have the time for it.
Yeah.
So like somehow this movie suffers from not enough good references. Because it just feels like such a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I guess.
It doesn't feel like it's enough to like justify it, and it feels too little, or I don't know how to explain it, but it's like right in the middle where it's awful.
Yeah, and like the book also, Rush, the band, was like a major plot point.
Oh really?
Halliday loved Rush, and so a lot of his Easter eggs had to do with Rush lyrics, and there was a whole world like based on their they had like a 30-minute side to one of their records that was just one continuous song, and so like all of the lore and the story of that song was like a world in the Oasis.
Oh.
So yeah, there's some stuff that was kind of creative and cool in the book, but like this movie's just like, oh, there's Tracer, there's Battletoads. Remember the Ninja Turtles? Well, it's not the good ones, it's the new ugly movie ones.
Oh yeah. There's Halo.
Yeah.
King Kong.
Halo. And then there's nothing in between like current day and the 80s.
Yeah, it's all either 80s or like right now.
Well, I guess Iron Giant's 90s, but still, there's so like few things in between.
Yeah.
Which like in reality, the Oasis would be like Overwatch characters a little bit, then it would be like really bad T-posing character models, and then there'd be like anime girls everywhere.
There'd be a lot
like
more anime.
85% anime girls.
This is also like 40 years in the future as well. Which is just weird.
Yeah, there's no new franchises in the future.
Well, I don't know.
Surprising, honestly.
Maybe there is, and we just didn't notice them because we don't know what they are. But it's just bizarre to me.
References to things we don't even know yet.
It's bizarre to me that everyone still like 80s references is like normal dialogue to them.
Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense.
Although it kind of makes sense because I feel like movies today are just gonna have so many references that people in the future are just gonna be like, yeah, that's how we talk now. So it's slightly realistic, Max.
I guess. But the movie is just like young adult fiction overthrow evil corporation plot
Yeah.
with references.
Highly generic.
And then, well, I'll wait till spoilers for one of my major gripes on that.
Okay.
But there's one really awful scene that just like completely shits on The Shining.
Oh yeah.
Turns it into an arcade game,
Yeah.
basically.
It butchered it. It butchered its legacy.
Yeah. Stanley Kubrick is rolling in his grave somewhere.
He is. God, can you imagine if Stanley Kubrick saw this? There's a big goblin lesbian running around my set.
the Overlook Hotel. What else was there? I'm trying to think of things before we get into spoilers, because most of what I want to say is just spoiler related.
Yeah, me as well.
There's something that made me laugh really hard was there's a Battleborn character.
There was?
Yeah, just like, please buy the rights to our game for the love of God. That game tanked, like, it was $10 2 months after coming out.
Jeez.
Please buy the rights. I beg you.
It's probably the most money they've gotten in like a year.
Imagine in like 2047 and someone just playing as a Battleborn character.
I feel like that'd be someone though.
That'd be like, that's what my grandson will do ironically. I'd be like, you know what you should do? Play as this guy who's in this shitty game.
Yeah, it is just weird to me how relevant everything is. Like how everybody knows all this stuff about the 80s. Like no one today knows anything about the 80s besides from like references they see in this movie.
Well, like they'll recognize like Freddy.
Yeah.
And
but like
Chucky. And...
the average like every person in this.
Well, that's the
movie
thing
world,
is the book like went into those references that like hardcore fans would know, but the only thing is it takes the time to explain everything. So that's why like entire pages are just paragraphs of references. But yeah, there's nothing that's like, if you love the 80s, there's nothing that it's like only a true diehard 80s nerd would know. It's all like songs that still play on the radio, Nightmare on Elm Street, Shining, like stuff that's just stood the test of time. Yeah. The cast, the main kid was just bad.
I hate that guy.
He was fine as Cyclops and X-Men.
He was Cyclops?
Yeah, the new one.
Oh. I just don't like his face.
Then there's the girl is a clever Kratos God of War reference because she has a giant red blotch on her eye. Yeah. That's just what I took. I was like, oh, a Kratos reference.
I was thinking Kratos. I was glad they didn't go for the Bowie reference. Just have like a massive lightning bolt. I would have left the theater.
Then we won't spoil who plays him, but his friend H is a giant. He was kind of funny. Some of the dialogue was good, but like they just decided to make him look butt ugly. Yeah, it looked really weird. But cyborg orc. Yeah. With like a really non-distinct ugly face. Yeah, and it was really, his like head was really long. Did you notice that? I don't know why, but it just looked bizarre. Yeah. Whenever they zoomed in. And there's 2 Asian kids. Yeah. That's the cast. That's the guy who played Krennic is just generic evil businessman. I want to make all the schools like Ferris Bueller and Ridgemount High. That's what I do with the Oasis. I'm a good guy. Why would you make all the schools in the Oasis like Ferris Bueller? Because the whole point of the movie is he hates school and it's so boring and the teachers are brain dead. I want to make all the schools just like Ferris Bueller. You've seen that movie, right? It's from the 80s. The reference, remember that? I didn't understand that at all. And then the kid's like, yeah, that'd be great. Except for Ridgemont High came out in the 70s. You're not going to question the Ferris Bueller? Why did it matter what decade it came out in? Because it has to be 80s. It has to be 80s. Halliday didn't enjoy anything outside of the 80s because he was an idiot and had shit taste. The Shining is Halliday's 11th favorite horror film. Why is it his 11th favorite? That should be top 5 if you're like an actual like love movies. That's true. Idiot. So and then he dies in a Star Trek coffin. Yeah. Oh yeah, they did have Star Trek coffin. Yeah. He sits up in his coffin for the video where he's talking to all the people. I will have to say though, I did enjoy him as a character, and I like the. He's kind of funny. Yeah. I like how he's just kind of like an awkward dev. Yeah. And I also love how it said like everybody worships him. I was like, yeah, that'd be real life. Basically, yeah. Gabe Newell. Gabe Newell, yeah. Based Halliday. People would just worship this guy in real life. It'd be great. I mean, they
based
did
out.
all completely research the 80s for his sake.
That's true.
Yeah, you'd think he'd appreciate something else.
Yeah, other than the 80s.
Yeah. And then the first probably like until that race ended, because it starts off and Jump by Van Halen, it instantly starts playing, which made us all laugh.
Yeah.
Because we kept joking about that. Then he's like, everybody lives in trailer parks in Columbus, and there's so many people they have to stack them vertically.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool.
It's called the stacks.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. We got some good scenes there.
Yeah.
And Jump's playing, and he's just like navigating the grounds.
Yeah.
And he has like a van that he hides in to play, and that was fun.
That was
And
fun.
then he gets in the Oasis, and there's like a really good looking race but the only references are the Back to the Future car, the Akira bike,
Jurassic Park.
yeah, the Jurassic Park dinosaur attacks. Kong is there. But I don't think there were any other references.
Oh, I did notice one Easter egg, Max.
What?
There was an Easter egg in that scene. I don't know if you realized it, but there was an Easter egg.
What was it?
There was, like, on one of the back walls when they're starting the race, there was a map of Escape from New York, like the neon kind of map thing. And I was like, oh. Yeah.
The 60s Batmobile was in the race.
It was.
So there were some, like, kind of funny references, but, like, most of the cars were just generic.
Yeah, almost all the cars were generic.
Like, the actual, like, CG and the, like, camera work of the race was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this might be a really good, just, kids movie. Might be fun action, just be kind of lighthearted and creative. And then after that, it just...
Yeah, it goes downhill.
Yeah.
I did enjoy how quickly they got into the Oasis. Like, they didn't, like, fuck around with all the, like, real-world stuff too much. And they just got right into it.
But they did show Minecraft. Like,
they did show Minecraft.
The Oasis, like, the second world is Minecraft world.
That made me
VR
laugh so
Let's
much.
Play.
That really made me laugh. And then they don't mention Minecraft again in the movie, so
I was expecting a Minecraft Steve in the battle.
Oh, maybe Herobrine was in it. Herobrine.
The person to find Herobrine gets my entire fortune. Yeah. Maybe not after the race, but as soon as he met the girl in real life, and he's like, "You're a gamer? You're a girl? Oh!" And that's literally what he's like. I love you. And they haven't even met in real life
He
yet.
instantly falls in love with her.
What if it was just like a fat guy?
I would have loved that.
In his tidy white, he's like, "Oh hey, you like 80s references, man?"
Chuck? Isn't that what they called her? Chuck?
Yeah, H was imagining Chuck.
Chuck. That would have been amazing.
Yeah. After that, just...
Yeah, it was dumb after that.
It's all just generic, boring, bland.
Yeah.
They even, like, somehow everything is gray. Did you notice that? Like, aside from, like, the race, like, whenever they're in the real world, it's all just gray.
Oh, when they're... Yeah.
And then when they're in the Oasis, the whole final battle is just on this big gray moon planet. And all the characters are gray.
Yeah. Except for Tracer. Tracer's bright orange.
Yeah, but it's still like really dim and
yeah,
not much fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was Planet Doom. You can't have fun on Planet Doom.
Yeah, but the game Doom is lava and fire.
Imagine if they went to the Doom world.
Someone said Doom Guy was there, but I don't think he was. But imagine the Doom Slayer just ripping people's spines out and punching their heads off in the middle of the fight.
He just rips a Furby apart.
Yeah. See, that's stuff they should have done.
Yes.
Like, do funny stuff. I would not recommend this movie.
No, I wouldn't either.
If I knew some kid in middle school who was just conveniently wearing, like, a Tetris shirt, and he just holding a copy of, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 1 in his hands, and he has, like, a ball cap on that has Back to the Future, I'd be like, hey, you should see Ready Player One.
Yeah.
People who buy Loot Crate probably like this.
They would.
That's how I got the book.
Oh, yeah.
The Loot Crate meme.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, there's this amazing new book. It's like it's like Matrix for adults, or like or they said it's like Willy Wonka for adults.
Oh.
I don't know. But I remember just finishing it. I'm like, why are all these adults on YouTube telling me to read this?
Because they drink soy milk.
Yeah. Well, that was before soy. That was loot. Obsessed with their loot.
Boys.
I recommend it to like kids who think they're
They know
kids who
everything
have
about the
seen
80s.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Would probably like this.
Or like have a Rubik's Cube. Kids that watch like top 10 anime or top 10 80s references videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
They'll
People like that would like this movie.
Yeah.
But only if they're like in middle school.
Yeah.
I don't think even like soy boys would really love this movie.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Some might, but I don't know.
They go with their wife and their wife's boyfriend and their wife's son. Go watch this. His wife's son will have a great time, and he'll go, oh, okay, yeah, have a great time too.
And then his wife's boyfriend will get him a Nintendo Labo for letting him take out his wife for the night.
Yep.
People who are gonna buy Nintendo Labo will probably like this.
Oh no, his wife's boyfriend is gonna buy him a ticket to Ready Player One so he can take his wife out for dinner.
Wait, he is going to... Oh, his wife's boyfriend will send him to the movie while he's on the date with his wife.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then he'll love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked, Rotten Tomatoes right now, like fan rating is like 78%, which is like criminally low.
Yeah.
Because like any overhyped movie is like a 90 now.
Yeah.
And the critics are at like 76 or something. So
man,
somebody didn't put out enough money to the reviewers.
Yeah. Hopefully this movie just like sinks into like the B level forget about tier.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be in like the Walmart cheap bin by like in 2 years' time.
Yeah, definitely. It was also, for some reason, our theater has like the two front, like nice.
Yeah, Pacific Rim still had the big theater, and we saw it in the back room.
Yeah, they threw it in one of the back ones. Like, not even the first back one. They threw it in like the middle one.
Might have been because it was a Thursday night, though.
I don't know, but they had Sherlock Gnomes in the other big theater.
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
They knew.
I'd still say, like, if you're going to the theater, go see Pacific Rim instead.
I don't know about that.
This movie, like, Ready Player One, I just started getting bored.
I was more bored watching Pacific Rim than I was Ready Player One.
Pacific Rim was just too funny to me.
This movie was too funny for me.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not recommend it unless you're like 13 or 14 and you think you love the 80s.
Yeah.
Also, this movie could have done a lot better if it had like Nintendo characters.
Yeah, but they'd never get the rights for Nintendo characters.
That's the thing. Is like they don't have the rights to make this
great.
Like, well, to make it like
decent.
At least visually like 80s. Wow, it's like wow, chunks of the 80s.
Yeah, it was definitely missing like huge chunks of arrows. And they should have.
I think Stranger Things probably has better 80s references, but it's less focused on 80s references though.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie, without references, it wouldn't be a movie.
This is far inferior to both Stranger Things and Super 8.
Yeah. Although I kind of dropped off Stranger Things.
I'd say season 2 is worth a watch.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Like I got a couple episodes into season 2 and I don't care anymore.
I really liked it.
I think it's all the references are getting to me at this point, and I just don't want any more of them.
Stop asking me to remember. What would you rate Ready Player One out of 10?
I said 6 coming out of the theater, but I might drop it to like a 5.5.
Oh. I said I gave it a 7 initially, just thinking about all the work that the like graphic designers probably had to put into this, because the battles are really dense and there's lots of like stuff going on, and the race I thought was like incredibly well done with what they were working with. But then I just thought about like the overall story and how I felt watching it, and I'm like, I'll say 6.
6. Yeah, it's passable, kind of.
Barely
passable
as like a middle schooler movie.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it doesn't have enough references that kids are going to understand and really like seeing. I don't think.
No, because I feel like the references they have usually are like the obvious ones, like the DeLorean.
I don't think a kid's going to get like hyped over like a Gundam, like someone under the age of 10 right now. I don't think is going to get excited about Gundam. His mom's not going to let him watch The Shining.
It's true.
His mom's not going to let him watch Nightmare on Elm Street or Chucky the Doll.
Chucky. Although
he probably can't play Overwatch Or maybe he does play. Maybe
yeah, he'd play
appreciate
Overwatch.
Tracer.
Yeah, you'll like Tracer.
But
Minecraft.
yeah,
Although
you don't see like any of the characters they know do anything that great though.
yeah. Although Tracer did have a line because she was in the credits.
Oh, she said something.
Yeah, I guess it was in the middle of the fight or something, but she was in the credits.
Yeah, but I don't think adults like it all feels so childish. I don't think many adults are gonna like this movie either. I think it's just like middle school where you're like starting to get edgy, but you're still a kid.
Although both of my brothers want to see this movie, and it does have Mechagodzilla in it, and my youngest brother, he loves Godzilla, and I told him, and he was like, "Oh my god!" But I told him it was kind of dumb anyway, so he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
kids like things for stupid reasons, so I don't know if this is the right criteria. I don't know.
I want to talk about Mechagodzilla for a second because I also grew up on Godzilla and Mechagodzilla.
Well, wait, should we say that for spoilers?
No, it's not a spoiler.
All right.
I just enjoy because
I'll allow
they had the Mechagodzilla had the rocket fingers.
Yeah.
And that was in one of the movies, and it made me giggle a little bit.
I thought the design looked terrible, though.
Yeah, it looked stupid.
Yeah, it looked like the Transformers Fall of Cybertron game. That's what the T-Rex robot looked like, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, how do you take Mechagodzilla and make him look boring?
Yeah, like the Mechagodzilla from Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla looks 10 times better.
Yeah,
I love it.
I don't get it.
They should have just got a guy in a suit.
They should have.
That would have been amazing. But no, it's big generic CGI gray thing.
Yeah, if you're in middle school, go see this movie.
Yeah, if you're watching if you're listening to our podcast and you're in middle school, go watch this movie.
Brother is in middle school or your sister, just tell them like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, take a couple friends, have some fun.
Don't bring me.
Yeah, don't talk about it too much. I don't want to hear it again.
Yeah, everybody else, I don't think it's really worth your time or your money.
It's not.
Even if it comes to Netflix, I'd say just watch Stranger Things.
Yeah, watch a good movie. Don't watch this.
Or a show, or just watch an actual movie from the 80s. Like I was watching this, and I'm like, I watched The Shining when I got home. So I was like, I want to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. I want to watch Iron Giant. I want to play Overwatch instead. I want to, I don't know, just every reference. I'm like, I'd rather be enjoying that.
Yeah, this movie makes you want to do other things.
Yeah.
That you see in the movie.
So now
spoilers.
Spoilers.
All right, what's our first spoiler for tonight? What's the stupidest spoiler?
I liked the Gundam fight.
The Gundam fight? Yeah.
Because of course, the Asian kid, his giant robot has to be the Gundam, and he's like,
"Korewa Gundam!"
And he jumps out of the plane or whatever he's in, and then just turns into a giant Gundam.
That was great. I liked how he also had like a time limit because it was like a power up.
But they actually like did some choreography and like did some cool stuff with the the jet boosters is what I was trying to say.
And he was like white and gold and white and red, so he stood out.
He's all shiny. His eyes are glowing cool, and he like hits the ground and like all this dust comes up and he glows through it, and it was cool. That was like the only reference I genuinely enjoyed.
Yeah.
Seeing the Back to the Future car in action was kind of neat, but after a while it got really old.
No.
No.
I also hated how they had what was the creator's name?
Halliday.
How they had him in the spot on Jack Nicholson's picture of The Shining.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about The Shining.
Yeah.
That started. They're like, oh, Halliday's 11th favorite horror movie, and I'm like, idiot. Then they're like, The Shining. They go into like the hotel, and at first I'm like, this is kind of cool because I think they actually took like shots. They either took shots from the movie or they like made it look grainy and like they're actually in the movie. So I'm like, this is kind of neat. I thought they'd just go through it, get kind of spooked, and then like find an arcade cabinet and move on. No. It
was an extensive scene.
The whole time, like, oh, I don't watch scary movies, so I don't know The Shining. And then he goes to the... Was the blood before or after room 237?
It was before, because he got swept away into the room.
Yeah, his friend H, he gets caught in the blood pouring down the hallway, and it's just so great to see that recreated in CGI with a giant orc goblin cyborg.
I think an actual tear ran down my face when I saw that.
I was like, why? Then he's like, oh, a room, and he catches the door, and then he goes in, and it's room 237. And some guy behind us was like, ha! He kept laughing like that the whole movie. It wasn't ha-ha, it was just, ha!
Oh, there was someone, I don't remember what part of the movie, but there was someone in the back that did like a sarcastic, ha! And I lost it. It was so funny.
Yeah, then it was kind of funny when the naked woman comes out of the tub and he's like, oh, hey, naked lady. And this is like, you know what's going to happen. And he's all oblivious, and it's kind of like, okay, but I don't like how much of this movie is both being spoiled for people who haven't seen it, and because it's a better movie, an actual movie.
And then they couldn't actually get Jack Nicholson's face.
Yeah, so they axes.
They showed like his feet walking, and then instead of like Jack Nicholson chasing around, it was the zombie girl lady with a knife.
For some reason there's it's like COD zombies, where there's just a bunch of the evil old lady chasing people around and killing them. Yeah. And then they end up in the maze then.
You remember that? Do you remember the maze?
And they have to go to the dance hall because
Ooh, you remember that too? You remember that?
Was dancing with ghosts.
No, that was his girlfriend's love, is dancing.
Yeah, and that's you got cucked.
You did get cucked.
Yeah, they ordered a Soylent at the bar before they finished the mission. But yeah, that whole sequence was too long.
Way too long.
Disrespectful of Kubrick.
Yeah. God, I feel so bad for Kubrick.
And just bad. And none of the other references go on that long.
Yeah, it's strictly that.
It's weird. And that wasn't in the book.
It wasn't?
Yeah. In the book, it was just like he had to... There was War Games and Ferris Bueller are the ones I remember. And he had to like perfectly recreate the dialogue by playing the main character and like going through it like a chorus.
Okay. And then this one he had to like jump over a chasm and like hang on to zombies dancing.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
I would also like to talk about probably the stupidest part about this movie is how simple the Easter egg was.
Yeah.
And it was like 15 years or something until it was like announced that there was this thing for like $500 billion.
You gotta drive backwards.
Yeah, and the clue to that...
I do shit like that all the time in games just to dick around when I don't care.
There's no way this wasn't found out within a day. Because think of like the COD Zombies Easter eggs. They found those out in like an hour.
Mm-hmm. Those you actually have to do complex things.
And then in this one... all they had to do, at least for the first clue, go to the library, listen to that one thing, and
how did they know it was that one meeting to talk about too?
I don't know. But Halliday almost looks right at the camera and goes, "You got to go backwards. We have to go backwards. We have to go backwards really fast, like Bill and Ted."
Yeah, Bill and Ted did it.
I hated that.
Yeah, that.
And he even says, the main character even says earlier in the movie that like people swarmed that library and like spent hours in it and days.
Yeah.
And no one figured this out.
I also like the character designs are just terrible.
Yeah, like the weird like wide-eyed girl.
Like he's like this weird blue and gray avatar with silver hair, and then she's like red and has spiky hair, and her eyes are really far apart.
Although I can kind of see them as like being generic video game character, like avatar things.
For as good as they are, you'd think they'd like have something cool though.
Yeah.
Like why would you have all those resources and choose to look like that?
Exactly. Oh, it was weird.
Like H's actually seemed like something someone would play as.
Yeah.
And then like they reveal her and she's just like this black lesbian woman who drives cross country in a van.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened.
That did happen. And then he talks about earlier how like anybody can be anything they want. They can be other genders and stuff. But he doesn't like, as soon as he meets this girl, he's like, oh, she's probably a hot lady.
Yeah.
That was bizarre to me. Like it was like, it's like common knowledge.
You're a gamer, and you're a girl, and you know the 80s? Oh my god. You gonna sign out for a minute? Stupid.
It was really stupid.
Got lost in the sauce.
He did. I would also like to say that the guy who played his like stepdad,
Ugh.
he was the guy. He also was in The Witch, which is one of my favorite horror movies. He shouldn't have been in this movie. It made me so sad to see him there.
Yeah, his dad sold. He spent all their rent on power-ups. Well, that's kind of becoming a reality, though, because there are people who are spending hundreds on loot boxes to get new guns in Call of Duty.
Yeah, it makes sense, but like, they should have just chosen a shitty actor, not him.
Yeah,
because I like him.
Maybe he loved the book. I need to be in Ready Player One. It's my calling. I really hope.
Wait. Evil Corp blows up his was it like his aunt? And
his aunt's house, yeah. Oh, yeah, he doesn't care at all.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Like, the next scene, he's already trying to fuck the girl again.
Yeah, he completely forgets that the evil corporation uses drones to plant bombs on the stack of trailers his aunt lives in.
He never brings it up again in the whole movie.
There's also that part at the end when the Krennic guy, he comes through the trailer park, because they're parked there in their van, and he draws a gun, and he's surrounded by people that knows he bombed their turf. And they all back away.
Because he's got a pistol.
Yeah, he has a pistol.
But there's like 100 people completely surrounded it.
And they're in their close proximity too. Like in the time he holds it straight up. Yeah. In that time, anyone could have just jumped out and grabbed him.
It is stupid.
Yeah.
Although it's kind of believable. I feel like people who've been playing video games.
They are gamers. They know guns.
Gamers.
Yeah, they see a measly pistol in real life. They have wielded laser guns in the virtual realm. Which you'd think some people would know how to fight too, because most of the stuff they did in the Oasis was like actual things they were doing in the real world.
Or you think like a place like that, someone would have a gun and just shoot
that
him
too.
Oh, it's the future. They took all their guns away.
They took the guns, so the evil corporations can mess with our games.
There was also a severe lack of like actual government stuff. Like I would have. I don't know if it's like too big for the movie, but I feel like there'd be something like in that about government trying to
own it and like
doing something with it. I don't know.
Conspiracies.
Yeah.
Government manipulation, robot programming, satellite radio signals.
Oh man, I didn't know we had Alex Jones on the podcast today.
Alex Jones should have been in this movie.
He should have. He should have been the evil corp guy.
Now, Alex Jones would want like completely. He would want it. He would just want it how it was.
Someone should have played as him in the Oasis, just running around as Alex Jones.
He's playing as Trump. There was like a battle world that looked kind of cool. That was another thing that gave me hope. It's at the beginning they like show everyone fighting in this big mosh pit. That was kind of cool.
That was
that just.
I didn't do anything else with that.
Yeah, the battle at the beginning of the movie for like 5 minutes looks better than the battle of the ending of the movie.
Yeah, and it felt like an actual game. Like it felt like a mix of like Doom and like almost. Like,
the battle world, you mean? Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about T.J. Miller's character for a second.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He was also probably one of the most believable characters in the movie.
Yeah, it's just some guy who just takes it way too seriously. Yeah. And his avatar is like got skulls and he's like a level 9,000 wizard. And, and it's like 10 years worth of like rare loot and coins.
Which is weird for him to have on his character if he played that much. You know, you'd think he'd have somewhere to put it.
Digital bank.
Yeah. And he'd like complain about his back problems every once in a while. And like the evil corp guy just didn't care whatsoever.
And the evil corp guy in game is just like a buff man in a suit.
Which again, I can see happening.
I can't. Like, you think he'd just like be like he'd get his intern to like tell him what's the most popular character?
That's true.
Lay low like that or something.
No, but he was the big boss man. He had to look like a big boss. Man.
Boss. No Solid Snake.
There was no Solid Snake. Actually, I think I did see one of the mechs from Snake.
Yeah, maybe.
Kojima should have made this movie.
No. Let him do something good.
Oh no, what if he made it good? Like,
I don't think he'd want to. Like, he just wants to do weird, screwed up.
But what if he did
stuff.
a weird, screwed up version of this movie? Anything Kojima touches, I feel like would be
too,
amazing.
like applicable to normal people now. Like,
I know, that's why he needs to destroy it.
what if he made a movie that was just all references to weird stuff that people barely know?
That would be
Like
amazing.
a cult classic, Ready Player One.
The main character is the Pink Flamingos lady.
Oh. Surprisingly, there wasn't any like obnoxious product placement, or like it didn't feel like a natural reference.
Yeah, I can see that. Like,
Because it's so full of product placement already. They're like, well, we don't have to do anything stupid this time.
there isn't like a Sony logo on like the VR.
There might have been actually. I think something
Actually,
said Sony.
Yeah, something probably did.
Well, it wasn't a Sony movie, so maybe not.
Sony still probably had something to do.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
So much bullshit.
Too much.
Too much bullshit. There was I kind of like the prison stuff. Like when Artemis gets captured. Like it was like a good concept.
VR work slaves.
Yeah, and like that was kind of interesting.
Um,
Just digital Auschwitz.
Yeah, I did think of that. I was like, wow, Jesus, Spielberg. You've gone too far this time.
What if there was a Schindler's List reference in there?
Oh.
In the middle of the battle, in the middle of the gray battle, you just see the red girl, the girl in the red dress walking across.
Oh.
Surprised there was no ET reference.
Yeah, Spielberg didn't reference a lot of his own stuff.
Indiana Jones? I think there was an Indiana Jones reference.
Maybe.
It made me, after I saw the movie, I saw like an article and just said 183 references in Ready Player One. I was just like, oh.
None of them are good. Like there's, the one we were going to talk about earlier. Is his name Krang?
Krang?
The guy from Mortal Kombat?
I think so.
He has like the black ponytail and he's the big monster with 4 arms. Mm-hmm. He grabs Wade Watts. He was named that because it sounds like a superhero name because his dad was a loser too. The big Mortal Kombat guy drags him aside. And he's like, "You can't go out in the real world as yourself. They know it's you." And then all of a sudden his chest starts bulging, and the alien bursts out, and then the suit falls away, and it's Artemis, and she's got a sleeve pop culture reference of Alien. And he actually got scared.
Yeah. As soon as the chest started bubbling, I was like, oh.
Yeah,
no,
it's like, are they doing another reference?
A reference inside of a reference.
Yeah.
That was stupid. It disgraces legacies.
It does.
It just annoys me so much how easy the Easter egg was. And how it was like everyone gave up after a couple years. And it was $500 billion and the entire Oasis.
It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No.
There's also that scene where they trick the guy into thinking somehow H knows what his office looks like, and he makes a perfect VR recreation of that. And then he takes his headset off, and he doesn't realize that they've somehow modeled him to look like himself in real life in the room. But couldn't he just physically feel that he still has headset on?
I can give it a pass.
Hijack his senses?
I can give it a pass on that because I feel like I forget that I'm wearing glasses. I feel like when it's something like that, when you're wearing it all the time in that world, you'll just kind of forget about it. You won't think about it.
I don't know. You think it would feel different taking off like a VR headset?
They were pretty small.
Yes.
I can give it a pass on that, Max.
Remember the part when he got hit in the balls and his suit hurt him and he got hit in the balls in real life?
That's what I wanted to talk about. That is the worst idea ever.
Yeah, why?
The pain suit, like
I can understand like pressure points, but why would they make it where your crotch can still get hit in the balls?
Imagine if that was real life. In the Oasis, people just run up to you and punch you in the gut, and there wouldn't be anything you could do about it. That was the worst idea ever.
I'm trying to think of what other stupid stuff happened.
There was, I don't know if it was something like just weird going on, but when they were in, like, when you mentioned the office scene, and like it looked like the main character's face was CGI.
I didn't notice that.
That might have been just a weird thing, but if it is, that's kind of cool because it's like a digital character. Maybe my eyes were just like bugging out after all that. Like I was getting a little dizzy or something. But like, if they actually like,
I noticed like the Asian guy, he had like yellow glow to his pupils, so I thought maybe that's what they. I didn't think his like body was CG too. I don't know.
There was like a couple other scenes like when it was like real life people inside the Oasis. They were it looked kind of digital, and if they did, that's kind of cool because it's a video game and it can't be absolutely perfect.
I don't think they'd waste the budget though.
Exactly. That's why I was like second guessing it. Like it's probably I'm just probably losing my mind or something. There's another big reference that made me really mad.
I like the clever moments in which they break from the video game to show what's happening in real life, providing for many comic relief moments.
This is an IGN.
IGN.
Stop. IGN said that like 6 times in their review.
Whole review. I reiterate that many times the game switched to real life, provided for great comic relief in its most tense moments. Ready Player One is at 10 out of 10.
Actually, they gave it like a 6 or something.
They gave it like a 7, which is like death threat from IGN. Call of Duty is the same thing as last year, but somehow less quality. 9.5 out of 10.
There's no Call of Duty 15, reference.
Burger King, foot lettuce. I'm glad they didn't try to put memes into it.
Yeah.
Because they would have had like Uganda Knuckles or like in Pacific Rim.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a smart idea, but unrealistic. Because there would be
so many memes.
Yeah. No one would ever take that as seriously as they did in that. Someone
gets like an orb that lets them turn into a giant, and it's just that I had to do it to him. Lucky Luciano just standing in the middle of the battle, like towering over everyone.
Again, there's too much stuff.
We're at 50 minutes, so I mean.
No, there's something I gotta say.
I can't stop thinking about The Shining. Like that's the main thing that just glares at me. It keeps me from remembering all the other terrible things.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
But I am glad they didn't do that with any more movies.
That is true. We're trying to think of things, so I'm just leaning back and leaning forward to pick up the mic.
God, what was it? There was something that I'm forgetting. I really hate the main character. They completely just. They should have used Simon Pegg more.
Oh, he was I almost forgot about that.
He was in like 3 scenes, and he's amazing.
Did you notice how the whole ending just turned to like generic shit?
That's another thing I want to talk about.
I'm glad you all want to run the company as a team. That's the right thing to do. Winks at him. Yeah. I gave you the coin. It was me. It's like you weren't relevant the entire movie.
Yeah. It was you who what's his name?
Halliday?
It was you who Halliday missed the most because you were his only friend. Remember that? Oh, God, that was bad.
Yeah, but like it turns into like that weird mystical ending like all the movies have where it's just someone talking down to the kids, except that they're all like in their teens or later.
No, the one kid was 11.
Well, there's one kid. Like the majority of them are just like standing there and just like, oh, hello, children.
I would also like to mention that's their business idea was awful for the splitting it 5 ways with the 5 people because he started dating that one girl. And that would have been, that's a bad idea.
We decided to fix the world by shutting down the Oasis 2 days a week. Time to get productive, people. It's rise and grind.
Do people work in that world? Or is it all like
I think a lot of the currency is just in game. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't like people get food and stuff.
They just don't eat. They just slowly die in the game.
Yeah. I hope that like in the 3rd sequel, it's about like the business and like him and his then Artemis, who
it all
they
falls
eventually
apart.
They like have a divorce or something. But like still, like the business idea, like if they got married, they got 2 votes in the committee.
Yeah.
It's like it's so.
And a lot of them like just met each other.
Yeah.
Like the Asian kid's only 11, and then his older brother is like also slightly
were they
younger
brothers?
than them. I thought they were. Maybe they were just friends.
I don't know.
I thought that was his little brother.
Racist.
They look the same. I couldn't help it. Yeah, they all just kind of vaguely know each other online.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And then how did the little how did the Asian guys even get there? Like towards the end, they were just like in the van. Like where were they from? Were they actually from?
Picked them up. Just came to Columbus. That's it.
They didn't show any of the actual Columbus skyline. They just had like generic buildings.
All of the like real life stuff is just gray and terrible.
Although the outside of the Resistance, also, can we talk about how shitty the Resistance was? Like,
I don't even remember.
Because it was like,
they looked like a warehouse.
Yeah, and it felt like and this was something Alex told me about, or was talking about earlier, is the Resistance found them almost as fast as like the $1 billion business did. Because remember the tattoo guy found him, and I can almost give him a pass for that, but like, it is a valid point that these like shitty Resistance people who live in a warehouse immediately found Wade Watts after he said his name.
That's...
This movie's stupid.
It is.
It's really dumb. Again, don't see it.
Then go see Pacific Rim.
Don't see that either. Just stay at home.
Go watch an actual good 80s movie.
Yeah, stay at home. Watch Ferris Bueller or watch The Shining or
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Just don't watch this movie. Don't watch any movie in the theater right now. Everything's stupid right now.
Yeah. I only recommend Pacific Rim, ironically.
I still can't. Is any?
I think Isle of Dogs is out somewhere.
Oh,
it's not
go
here.
watch that. Go watch that. That's gonna be great. Why didn't we get that movie? Why isn't that in our big theater in the front?
Gnomes,
Sherlock
and Ready Player One
and that like middle school girl movie.
Yeah, Midnight Sun.
Midnight Sun.
I just hope next week we get A Quiet Place at least.
Yeah, dude. We just show up to the theater and every single theater is filled with Sherlock gnomes.
Oh.
And then in the very back theater is Pacific Rim.
I also highly recommend anyone listening who has Instagram to go on the Sherlock Gnomes profile and go to the ad that they posted with James McAvoy, because I send it to Toby every single day.
He has.
Because it's just so funny to me. Because he's this great actor, and he can't even like summon up the character to pretend to like that he's in this movie.
And he looks like he's crying.
Yeah, his eyes are just bloodshot and watery, and he's like, "Hi, I'm James McAvoy. I'm in Sherlock Gnomes. Click the link below to get your tickets." He just looks like there's a gun pointing at him.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, do you make that much money from bad animated movies? Like, how do they get so many good actors? Do they really need the money? Well, I guess it's a cheap check. Like, you just go into a studio for a day.
Yeah. But
never mind.
But I mean, it destroys it. It's obviously destroying him.
Yeah.
So maybe it is a mistake.
He becomes. That's the real reason he goes bald in X-Men. It's just the stress of being in Sherlock Gnomes. They have a scene where he grows his hair back naturally after what happens in Apocalypse, and then they like somehow tie that into him being in Sherlock Gnomes, and he just starts losing his hair again.
Maybe that's why he's crazy.
I have the power for this hair.
Maybe that's why he went crazy and Split. Is because he's Sherlock Gnomes.
All right, there's a James McAvoy
cinematic
universe here.
All right, any more things to say about Ready Player One?
Ernest Cline has been planning a sequel, a novel, and he helped write the screenplay, which is bizarre to me. And he also wrote a book called Armada, which is just a ripoff of The Last Starfighter, and like it got shit on because like without all the references, they just realized he's a bad writer. Don't like, read a real book, watch a real movie.
Yeah. Don't
give this. I kind of regret seeing this and even like supporting it at all.
Yeah. But like, if I were to, I was thinking about just buying a different ticket and then going to see this movie, but there's nothing else that I want to give my money to.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard the kid who was tearing the tickets. I assume he was talking about Ready Player One, but I don't know, there was some kid talking to him and he's like, "Oh, did you like that movie?" And he's like, "Well, you'll like it."
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of people there that I just looked at and I was like, yeah, you're going to like Ready Player One.
I think a lot of them were there for Sherlock Gnomes, though.
There was a couple groups of people there for Sherlock Gnomes.
There were a lot of people there, but only half of them were in our theater, so I don't...
Yeah.
I don't know.
That one guy had a blast, though, in the back.
Every time.
I hope that was ironic.
It could have been, because it was too weird.
Yeah. Although we have had some weird people in our theater.
There were some weird laughs.
Yeah.
I really don't have anything else to say about this movie.
I also, there was the awkward scene where they were like dancing with each other and she like touched him all over his feel suit.
And then it shows it like go down to his, or she like floats under his crotch and grinds him.
But the entire time I was just thinking of Chuck, the overweight guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't reveal yet that she was an actual girl.
You're a girl.
And
you play games.
And her
and you know the 80s.
And her in real life, she was like the generic, I'm gamer girl. I'm shy.
And then she was wearing a Joy Division shirt at one point, and it's just like that's like a shirt you wear to specifically get someone to be like, I know that reference.
Yeah. Well, that was a plot point as well, because he wanted to, when they were going to that dance, he wanted to have like a reference that she would get.
Oh yeah,
and she did.
And he dresses like Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
then he dress like Prince or something. And
that was awful.
I'm thinking I'll go with the Thriller look. I'm pantomiming the Thriller hands while I say that.
Stop. He's still doing it.
And wrap it over the dab.
Oh no.
I think that's where we should end it.
Yeah, wrap it up with the dab. Yeah.
All right, everybody at home, make sure to dab.
If you laughed, or if you cried, leave a comment down below.
Yeah.
If you dabbed, or if you did the Thriller dance, leave a comment down below.
And if you understood the references, let us know your favorite reference. Not even in this movie, just
your favorite reference.
Name a reference you once spotted. Toby, what's your favorite reference?
The time Wennis said Duckman.
That is true. Mm-hmm. Only Wennis will understand. Well, Wennis and maybe like Alex will understand that. Mm-hmm. My favorite reference. A lot of references.
There's too many references now. Maybe it's a reference we made in the podcast.
I want to think of one. I want my reference. Let you get a favorite reference, not me. I like the part in X-Men Apocalypse when Quicksilver had a Rush t-shirt.